We're out here on the trail today and we're going to test the Linkglide drivetrain. Go ahead, I'm just doing a little film.
Okay, cool, my wife's right behind me.
Okay. While I'm waiting for other riders to come by here before we do some filming, please subscribe. I've been getting a lot more subscribers here in the last couple of months, and it's really motivated me to get out here on the trail and test some new products and show you some great rides. In my last video, I showed a bunch of upgrades that I made to my Canyon Spectralon, and one of those was the Linkglide drivetrain. And that got a lot of people's attention. A lot of people said they've been doing the same thing. Other people were asking questions about it. And not too long after that, I took it for a real test, and I came out on this trail here. It's called Over the Bars, or OTB. It's up in the Tahoe National Forest. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's pretty high. It's at about 8,000 feet, and it's relatively technical. And the reason they call it OTB, or Over the Bars, is because it's generally a downhill trail. Right here, it's just sort of technical and flat, but most of it is downhill. And we were going uphill, so I'm going to create a new name for it, and it's Off the Back, because I came out here with my buddy Mike, and we'll let him go first, and I wanted to take some film of him from behind, but in order to do that you got to stay pretty close, and it was all I could do to stay on his tail. You killed me.
What?
You're killing me.
No.
So I was really challenged physically, and so therefore using as much gear as I could, because obviously when you're pushing it, and I remember this back in my bike racing days, you just want to be in the perfect gear to get the most power out, just to stay on the group. I think I need to work out more. And so I was trying to stay on the back of Mike's bike. We both have Canyon Spectralons. He has the Hyperglide drivetrain. I have the new Linkglide drivetrain, and so we got to kind of experience what the difference was, because we were both pushing it a little bit, and there are some places where you'll see he had a little trouble with his drivetrain.
Did you hear my chain go?
That's all I had.
My chain go.
Oh, really?
I barely recovered. I had to downshift to recover from it. Whoa! Woo! Chain recovery. Maybe I need to go to a 10 speed.
This is going to be a video that's a lot of trail footage. I'm out here again. I'm going to get a little bit more close-up shots with the camera, but there'll be a lot of POV on this one. It's a beautiful location, as I mentioned, pretty high up in the mountains, and there's some great views off the side, and it's mostly in dense forest.
There you go. E-biking on the uphill can be more fun than that downhill.
After that ride, it was clear to me, because I've ridden both this bike and my Canyon, this is Mike's, and it has the Hyperglide drivetrain on it, that the Hyperglide can have problems. And really it's rider caused problems, but if you switch through those gears quickly, the Hyperglide will do it. And I've got some images I'll share here that show you what happens when you try to change gears with a Hyperglide. You can actually change 3 gears at one time, and the Hyperglide will try to make that switch immediately, just the way the teeth are set up. That's different for the Linkglide. So this is my Canyon. It has the Linkglide drivetrain on it, and I'll show an image of that as well. But when you switch gears, it will only switch 2 gears at a time. It won't let you do 3. So it compensates for your error, if you will, and it takes longer for that chain to make the switch. So you don't hear that crunching. I also videotaped the movement of that gear while it was on my patio, and here's some video of that. If you watch the first video, this is the Linkglide on my Canyon, and it's running pretty smoothly. And I'm cranking the chain, and I'm running through the gears, and I run it up and down first slowly, and then the second time I do it maximum changes, 2 gears at a time. I'm actually kind of doing that the first time as well with that, and there's really no difference. But when I start going over to the Hyperglide drivetrain, and I didn't do it on this bike, I did it on my YT, which is the same drivetrain, it was a whole different story. I ran up and down the gears 1 at a time, and it was nice and smooth. So if you're good about switching gears 1 at a time, it should stay smooth for you. It may skip a little bit, but if you try to switch 3 gears at a time, and believe me, when you're in a really tough riding situation like we were there and you're pushing it, sometimes you're not thinking, there's not a lot of blood to the brain, and you switch through those gears quickly, and you can see when I was trying to do that with my hand, I almost couldn't turn the crank. And at one point it really became bound up, and that's what you saw happen with the ride with Mike. So overall, I'd say both drivetrains will work. With the Hyperglide, you need to be careful, and you need to be diligent about only switching a few gears at a time, and don't do it so much under power. With the Linkglide, it's a lot more forgiving, and you can pretty much do anything you want with it. I've done that, and I have not had any kind of problem with skipping or jamming of the chain. So I hope you enjoyed that. There was a little bit more trail footage in this video than I put in some of my other ones. Some of you have been asking for that. It's what I enjoy most, actually. So please subscribe and check out some of my past videos. Please give me any comments, suggestions, ideas. Let me know what you think of this kind of footage, and this kind of, if you want me to expose more trails like this in the Tahoe area.